In an age when the world's population was dressing in skins, the Persians had developed an industry, an amalgam of art and craft which has amazed and fascinated all, from the royalty of every realm to the most fashion-conscious aficionados in every walk of life. Descendants of those ancient nomadic Persians still practice that art and craft, making tribal rugs and carpets exactly as their forebears did 1,000 years ago. The Persian Empire was at its peak more than 2,000 years ago. The warrior kings of the era built the once fabulous Persepolis to proclaim their glory and greatness. Over centuries, even permanent memories are ravaged by time, but the art and crafts of Persia are vibrantly alive and flourishing as never before. It all starts in the craggy foothills and dusty plains of this ancient land. Nomads herd sheep, from summer mountain grazing to winter in southern plains. Water is eagerly sought at the end of a dry day. As they close on watering holes, animals pick up the scent. Nomads usually walk or ride with their herds. Many now send their families ahead by truck, with the watchdog keeping an eye on things. Water is replenished at river crossings, a relief from hauling it out of a well, and weaving yarn is re-rinsed. Once in camp, daily chores need doing, and work starts on a new season's weaving. Nomadic women reflect family wealth and status in their colourful dress and their carpets. The older women start transforming new wool to magic carpet. One woman can spin about 150 grams of wool a day. A major carpet producer uses 1,000 tons of wool a year. The wool is expertly graded by colour and quality and stored temporarily. Dyeing starts, water is brought close to boiling, and the correct ingredients added to make those brilliant colours. Crushed mineral from the mountains is added. Its acid breaks down the wool's resistance to dye. All ingredients used in dyeing are natural, grown or produced locally. Yellow dye comes from dried and crushed joshir leaves growing on the mountains. The mountain bush ronas is prized for its red dye properties. It's difficult to achieve consistent shades of colour. The process is erratic because the dye varies in strength. Temperatures and time all affect resultant colours. Rinsing is important. All dye and detritus from ingredients must be removed. Dyed, rinsed wool is dried naturally in gardens by the plant in preparation for the journey back to the nomads. This company recycles water to irrigate gardens where flowers, shrubs and trees surround a field of vegetables. The yarn is sent off on its next phase, for weaving. Sheep are the main source of nomads' income. From wool comes carpets. But goats are important for milk, meat, hides and hair. More coarse than wool, goat hair makes ropes and tents. Weaving looms are of steel pipe and broken down for transportation and reassembly in new camps. Weavers kneel to work, threading the first weft or horizontal threads in and out of the warp threads. The type of knot doesn't affect the carpet's quality, but the way it's tied tells an expert where the carpet comes from and which tribe made it. A tick or hooked knife is traditionally used to pull or separate the threads. The comb-like dafton is used to compress woven rows. Naming knots and carpets can be confusing. Sene is one name for a Persian knot. It is also a weaving town, and in Sene town, the Turkish knot is used in carpet making. Carpets go to the factory workshops for finishing. On arrival, every carpet is carefully measured and scrutinized for faults. Carpets with defects are immediately rejected. The carpet gains a unique identity which stays with it for life. After the initial quality checks, cleaning and finishing processes begin, and the first of these is beating to dislodge dirt and dust. Then burning. The searing gas flame burns off stray fibers and hair. After brushing vigorously, the carpet goes for washing, and then it is dried in a yard with dozens of others. Even cold washing shrinks the carpets. Before they dry fully, they must be restored. So in the workshop, one end of the carpet is nailed to the floor. String is pegged out to mark the carpet's original size, and it is stretched out and nailed down. But almost immediately the first end is released, and the carpet goes into a drying loft. Once fully dry, the carpet nap is shaved. This is critical. A slip here could destroy months of painstaking work. The pattern is more visible, as are any defects. No carpet is sold until it has been through stringent checks. Detailing, including edge binding, is done in the workshop next door to the shearing room. During weaving, strands of stray wool become knotted by mistake. Carpets are inspected centimetre by centimetre, and the offending yarn is cut out. A final trim around the edges tidies the nap up. Repairs are also done here, mainly to older carpets. Sometimes new borders are woven to replace damaged sections. A final inspection shows the carpet's fitness for sale, and it is sent down to the warehouse showroom. and Aladdin's treasure trove of magnificent tribal carpets are on display, of every conceivable design glowing in a blaze of incandescent color. Marketing tribal carpets has become more proactive. Considerable resources are invested to maintain positions in the marketplace. This is where boulevard boutique owners and chain store buyers alike are invited to high-class showrooms to choose from amongst the latest and greatest creations of Persia's nomads. Every week, thousands of carpets are selected, carefully packed, and dispatched to destinations on all continents in nearly every country in the world. Most designs were inspired centuries ago by conditions and events in the nomads' lives. Some have evolved, bearing little resemblance to original concepts, and more modern patterns and colors have emerged. But what lasts, making Persian carpets so sought after, is what distinguishes them from mass-produced copies. They come from traditional nomadic regions. Warp and pile consist of hand-spun, naturally dyed wool, and all are completely hand-knotted. In a world where technology rules, the legend of Persian magic lives on. On assignment in Iran, the producer was offered a rare opportunity to meet a nomadic tribe, descendants of ancient Persia, if they could be located. For they would be on a seasonal trek from the plains to the foothills of the Zagros Mountains. Within a day, their location was narrowed down to an area of some 200 square miles. The search was on. 2 days, 800 miles later, they were spotted from the top of a pass high in the mountains. The rest of the story is Persian Magic. This is a documentary. Running time is 23 minutes. More can be made if required. It is educational, historically significant, a commentary on social issues. It could be termed a lifestyle program, looking at the harsh reality of life in a hard land. As a subtext, there's a story of families holding together during difficult and changed times.